He stood across the room, nursing his drink. Not for the first time that evening, Susan McKenzie found her attention drawn to the tall, rather lanky man. Her first impression was that he was strikingly unattractive. His face was too narrow, the chin square and abrupt, the dark brown eyes were friendly but small, and his hair, although short and well-trimmed, did little to disguise ears that tended to stick out. But there was a kindness about him, a gentleness she hadn't seen in a man for a long while. Susan was situated in a corner by herself. Cocktail parties were not her forte. She tended to be more comfortable communicating with an individual instead of a whole room full of strangers. But she had seen to the obligatory chit-chat and was free to sit and observe. Several editors from rival publishing houses were present, and Susan enjoyed looking them over, learning what she could about the people from the way they interacted with others. The games they played, the games everyone played, could be amusing when viewed from a spectator's position. That was what interested Susan about the stranger across the room. He, too, was an onlooker. Twice she had watched couples approach him. His smile had been warm and genuine, and although Susan couldn't hear his voice over the conversational hum, the sound of his laugh had drifted across the extensive living room, deep, rich, and full. Just listening to him had made her want to smile. He gave whomever he was speaking to his full attention. A man who listened. Another rarity. She stood, taking her wine glass with her as she approached him. He saw her coming and straightened slightly. Susan wondered if he'd noticed her and shared some of the same thoughts. "Susan McKenzie," she held out her hand. "Adam Gallagher." He took her petite hand in his huge one and shook it firmly. I was going... They both spoke simultaneously and stopped to laugh. "You first," Adam said, and gestured with his old-fashioned glass, his dark eyes smiling. "I don't believe we've met, and thought I should take the opportunity to introduce myself." There were probably dozens of people she hadn't met tonight, but he was the only one who interested her enough to seek out. "I was thinking the same thing." "Are you a friend of Ralph's?" Ralph was the man giving the party. The cocktails were part of the celebration for Ralph, who was opening his own literary agency after several years of working for L&L Literary Services. "We attended college together." He smiled, displaying a flash of pearl-white teeth. "Are you in publishing?" Susan nodded. "Associate editor." She could feel his surprise, although he didn't comment. People were often amazed that someone as young as she would be an editor. It wasn't uncommon. Most romance editors were in their mid to late 20s. Nearly everyone at Silhouette's office was. Susan was 24. "And you?" "No." He shook his head. "I'm a doctor." Now it was her turn to be surprised, although why she should, she didn't know. The profession fit perfectly with the man, his kindness, the gentle quality about him. He was a healer. "Do you have a complaint?" he asked with a rueful gleam. "A complaint?" The questioning look produced small dimples in her naturally rosy cheeks. "You know, headaches, a bad back, indigestion." A breathless laugh came from her as he held her gaze. "Now that you mention it," she said, "my feet are killing me." "New shoes?" A strand of long brown hair fell loosely down the side of her cheek as she nodded. Susan looped it around her ear. "Would you like to sit down?" he suggested. What she wanted was to go home, but not if it meant missing the opportunity to talk to this intriguing male. There were quite a few things she planned on finding out about Adam. She liked him, had liked him almost from the first moment she'd begun observing him. That in itself was unusual. "I suppose I should."